Hello and welcome back to Livewire. I'm Ali.
I'm David.
And I'm Matt.
And today we'll be going over the newly released patch notes on For Honor, which will be For Honor's first improvement update since the Day 1 patches. If you enjoyed this video or find it informative, then subscribe for more.
Ubisoft released a statement saying, "Our team is actively listening to the community and we would like to update you on a list of improvements that will be deployed in upcoming updates."
Yeah, so first of all we're going to talk about the character improvements that they'll have, then we'll move on to the combat and then some of the general improvements as well. But the first thing I want to touch upon is the Valkyrie character. The Valkyrie character is my favourite character, it's the one I play the most, and there's quite a lot of buffs coming her way, so I'm pretty excited about that. I mean,
lucky you.
I want to be good, and right now she's alright, but she's going to get better, so you know, can't wait for that. So, the first couple things, and some small things. Light attacks will have reduced recovery time, so
quite standard.
Light chains will have a reduced time between attack. Now, I would have preferred if this was for the heavy attack, considering how long it takes to make your swing. And I feel like with the Valkyrie especially, like it's very obvious which way she's going to swing, and because it takes so long, it doesn't help that at all.
Particularly the over-the-top one. I mean, with that, I mean, everybody's heavy attacks take forever. So I'm kind of cool with it just being the light ones.
Not so much if you're someone like the Orochi or the...
Aye, but they're assassins.
Yeah,
the
assassins
Valkyrie
get
isn't
away
an
with
assassin.
easier, but like, it's the same, David. If you made the Valkyrie's heavy attack less obvious, it's like, why would you bother going someone like the Nobushi? Because she's got a big pole-based weapon, and a heavy attack's very obvious with there, but she doesn't have a shield, whereas the Valkyrie does. So you'd be saying, well, I'm faster and better at heavy attacks than the other one, and I've got a shield, so...
Talking about shields, we have the Shield Crush. Now you'll be able to add a link attack chain. So that's pretty cool. I don't really use the Shield Crush much, just one of those things I don't really do. But I feel like if you do things like that, then you know that's you get another combo added on, so that's pretty good.
Exactly, and shield-based attacks are very strong in For Honor, we've noticed, or I've certainly noticed recently, because I fucking hate the Warlord.
So one of the main things that I really felt as if the Valkyrie needed buffed upon was the kind of I call them the poke attacks, but really they're called the pouncing thrust and the hunter strike, but I refer to them as the jump poke and the side jump poke because it's just like the most easiest way to describe them. But especially when you jump up and poke the enemy and then jump to the side and poke the enemy, so they're both going to get increased damage, and they'll have further link options after you complete the move.
Wombo combos.
Yeah, I tested this before we made this video, and right now both attacks do roughly about a third to a half of a health bar for the damage, which is awfully poor.
Yeah. I mean,
that is
we
literally terrible.
We went into that 1v1 duel to test out these things, and I was like laughing at it because it was doing no damage to my low bringer whatsoever. Yeah, that was like your big attack.
You're doing all these like crazy fancy flicks and all that, and it's just like you're literally
here's a tickle.
Yeah, basically. So they're getting buffed. They're going to get a wee bit of increased damage. We don't know how much, but we'll see. So the next thing is the Hunter's Rush, and that's basically your attack on fleeing enemies. It's the one you do out with your stance, like when you lock onto an enemy. You basically hold in the left stick and hit your right trigger, and she kind of jumps towards your player and attacks them.
It's bullshit.
Normally done when you're chasing an enemy.
Normally knocks me into a river and kills me instantly. It always happens.
That's because
so with that, you're going to get a reduced recovery time. So, in my opinion, when I tested it, it didn't really take up much of my recovery, like your stamina anyway. So I don't really know why it's getting buffed, because I feel like it was like that's not really needed. One thing I do feel like should have been buffed was the reduced recovery time on the spear sweep, because when me and Matt did this again, he was just laughing at it. Like right now, it takes about half of the stamina. I know it does, well, it doesn't do any damage at all, but the character you're playing against does get hit twice by the spear. One to the balls, the nether regions, may I add, and they also get hit by a shield, and the character also falls over. So that's what, 3 hits and falling over, and yet the character takes no damage.
Yeah, 0.
So
it's kind of hilarious.
Must be an environmental-based thing. It would be like the equivalent of
it's just classified as a push. It's just classified as a push.
Yeah.
But all this like crazy flicking and fancy, all that good stuff, and no damage at all.
I mean,
I feel like that should have been added damage instead of this Hunter Rush having reduced recovery.
Well, then she might be too strong compared to the rest of the characters. It may just
I don't know about that.
Well, it may just be small things when you talk about them separately, but you add all these up all together, particularly if you made all the changes, the ones that you're recommending, it should be very, very hard to stop.
I mean, the Lawbringer, with his, the thing where he impales somebody and chucks him over the shoulder, that does no damage as well.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
seems
I was
like
thankful
you
for
feel like
that 'cause
that
I thought
probably
I was
should.
going to get beheaded when that happened to me today. But yeah, you're right. Something like that could be doing with more damage. Like if getting shoved and falling like a tiny ledge can take off half your health, getting flung over someone's shoulder after being impaled should do arguably the same, if not more. But that's for another point. And as you mentioned, the Lawbringer, we can go on to talk about the other knight classes, the Conqueror and the Berserker from the Vikings. Well, currently, if your opponent blocks a light attack from either the two characters, the Conqueror or the Berserker, they can combo into a free guard break, which is just gone. It's no longer going to happen. They decided to just completely remove it. But one thing they will go into next will probably be the Peacekeeper, who Matt was playing when they were testing out this, and Ubisoft have said that they're going to address the bug where the second and third stabs from a guard break do not apply bleed. So I'm presuming that's the one where sort of grabs you and stabs you a lot in the chest?
Yeah, I think she stabbed you 3 times, and apparently only the third stab applies the bleed when it should be. Oh, sorry, the first one where apparently it should be the second and third as well.
They'll just need to be careful that the way that they program those stabbing bleed effects is that they don't aggregately build up, or if they're just flat things like 10 damage, 10 damage, and 10 damage, or 10 damage, you're taking bleed damage already, so you now take more damage, and then another. Because if so,
it's like
I know,
it's the ultimate kind of combo.
Yeah, it's a really hard
do a fuck ton
attack
of
to come
damage.
back from. Like, if that happens to you, I feel like if you're anyone that isn't a tank class, essentially, you lose almost half
You're
your
in
health
trouble.
instantly.
Oh, yeah,
You're, like,
definitely.
almost dead, and the bleed damage is arguably worse after that move, because it takes so much health than the Bushi's, like, free light attack strike that gives you poison damage onto you.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get stronger, eh?
Oh, well, who knows? It's only gonna get better. So, Peacekeepers, Assassin's Creed fans, rejoice.
Yeah, so now we're gonna move on to the next category, which is combat improvement.
Currently, you can't counter a guard break during a guard break attempt. I mean, we tested this out quite a lot, and we still kind of got differing opinions on it. But basically, this is going to return to the previous behavior that we saw in the beta, where if somebody guard breaks you, you've got more of a chance to counter that guard break for when the red shield flashes up.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, you kind of need to do it as soon as they
You kind of need to
attempt it.
judge. I think what the people are saying. You just kind of need to ignore the on-screen animation and the on-screen signaling, and just do it just from the character animation right now. But apparently, it's going to go back to the way it was, where when you see the symbol, that's when you attempt your counter.
When the prompt is displayed, now is your chance to actually use it to your advantage.
If you remember in that elimination match we had the other day, that Raider did 6 charges in a row from a guard break, and that was like ridiculous.
Exactly.
A whole string of 6, like nothing else happened in between. Just got picked up and shot,
Yeah.
picked up and
We
shot.
could sit and rage all day about bullshit that's happened to us, and the game has only been out 5 days. But we'll get to that later in another video, perhaps. More important things is the general improvements that they're bringing to the game overall. So one big one is bots replacing players in duels, brawls, elimination game modes. So you may have had this yourself. They said they're going to address your concerns when regards to bots, so full health will replace leaving players. So you could be about to win something and win the game completely, and 4 full health bots drop in because they rage quit, making your life a living hell. They're now going to replace the leaving player with a dead bot in duel, brawl, and elimination game modes, which will effectively make you win the current round if it was the only opponent left alive. And for the rounds that follow, the bot will stay in the place of the player, which I feel like it wasn't
great.
really annoying to me because it didn't happen a lot, but if it happens to you in an area where you've got bad connection, and it could happen frequently, thank the heavens it must have been a ball ache.
Yeah, it's great they fixed that, because I've been on the bad receiving end of that, and my god, it's annoying. It's like, I've done all my moves, I got you down, and now you're gone. And now, look, another full strength opponent to attack.
Exactly.
It normally doesn't end well, let's just say
And
that.
guess what? You're not going to get revenge mode probably, because that's not how the gods favored it.
Nah, because technically it is a 2v1, but it's just playing one at a time. But yeah,
exactly.
definitely, yeah, no revenge. But anyway, that is kind of all the patch notes that were available to us. It's good to see that. I think, in my opinion, it's good to see that there's been solutions to the problems, and they've came out rather fast since the game's released. But they haven't actually announced when these patches are going to come in, so I don't think we can be too impressed with the speed of them yet until they officially make the patch available.
Well, it's good that they're actually paying attention, because a lot of people are saying, oh, they're just going to leave it and it's going to be so imbalanced in the game, but it's not. They're actually caring about this title quite a lot. So
yeah, but if this patch doesn't happen for like a month, it will kind of seem that way.
Yeah. even then, a month of release to have a thing that changes a game which is focused entirely almost on multiplayer gameplay of hero against hero, skills to skills, metas, that is actually still quite a good turnaround compared to things like Overwatch, Dota, Heroes of the Storm, stuff like that. But regardless, it is nice to see them doing it. I didn't think they'd do it, and it's good to see For Honor getting a bit of support from its developers.
Indeed.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or if you're new to the channel and you feel like showing your love. Hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all the videos regarding For Honor as it goes on, and other games as we cover them on the channel. And until next time, we will see you later.
Bye guys.
Bye.